It's a random Sunday afternoon. You're lying in bed, scrolling through YouTube or Instagram, when another video pops up. How I became a millionaire in 18 months. Turn $1,000 into $1 million with this simple strategy. And for a moment, you pause. Because part of you starts wondering, am I falling behind? You work hard. You earn decent money. You're doing what everyone said you were supposed to do. But when you check your bank account, it doesn't exactly scream, future millionaire. So naturally, a question starts creeping into your mind. Is building real wealth even possible anymore? Or is everyone online just faking it? Here's the truth nobody talks about. Most financial advice online lives at two extremes. On one side, you have the get-rich-quick crowd. Crypto secrets. Day trading gurus. Dropshipping hacks. People promising financial freedom before next summer. And on the other side, you have the painfully slow advice. Save consistently for 40 years, and maybe you'll finally relax at 65. Neither feels exciting. Neither feels realistic. But what if the truth is somewhere in the middle? Because building real wealth doesn't happen overnight. But it also doesn't need your entire lifetime. 5 years. 5 focused years can completely change your financial future. Not with luck. Not with viral business hacks. Not with fake motivation. But with the right strategy, repeated consistently. And in this video, I'm going to show you the realistic path to building serious financial momentum over the next 5 years. Not the flashy version. The version that actually works. Now before we continue, there's one uncomfortable truth you need to hear first. Wealth is not built by saving money alone. And I know that sounds strange because saving money is important. But relying only on saving is like trying to fill a swimming pool using a teaspoon. It's slow. Painfully slow. For example, let's say someone saves $300 every month. Honestly, that's already better than most people. According to recent studies, nearly 40% of people can't even cover a small emergency without borrowing money. So if you're saving $300 a month, you're already ahead of a huge percentage of the population. But here's the problem. The math still doesn't work fast enough. Let's break it down. $300 a month turns into $3,600 a year. Over 5 years, that's around $18,000. And even if you invest that money wisely and earn solid returns, you'd probably end up somewhere around $21,000 or $22,000. That's good. But let's be honest. That's not the kind of money that completely changes your life. And this is where most people misunderstand how wealth is actually built. Because in the first 5 years of your financial journey, the biggest factor is not investing. It's income growth. Your greatest financial asset early on is not your savings account. It's your ability to earn more money. Think about it like this. Your income is the engine of your financial life. And if the engine is weak, no amount of budgeting tricks or investing strategies will make you move fast. You need more horsepower. Because once your income increases, everything gets easier. Saving becomes easier. Investing becomes easier. Paying off debt becomes faster. Stress goes down. Freedom goes up. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine 2 people. Person A earns $3,000 a month and saves 10%. That's $300 monthly. Now person B takes the first 2 years to improve their skills, negotiate better pay, or build a side income. Eventually, their income grows to $5,000 a month. And even if they save the exact same percentage, now they're saving $500 every month instead of $300. That single difference creates an extra $12,000 over 5 years. And if the income gap keeps growing, the financial gap becomes massive, which leads to the first real step toward building wealth. Increase your income. Now I know what you might be thinking. If making more money was easy, everyone would already be rich. And honestly, that's fair. Here's the part most people completely underestimate. How much their life can actually change in 5 years. Because no, income growth doesn't happen overnight. But 5 years is more than enough time to completely transform your earning potential. 5 years is enough time to Learn a high-income skill. Switch careers. Build a side business. Negotiate better salaries. Or become valuable enough that companies start competing for you. And the numbers back this up. Studies show that people who switch jobs strategically often increase their salary by 10% to 20% each time. Do that 2 or 3 times within 5 years, and your income can look completely different. But increasing income creates another problem that quietly destroys people financially. Lifestyle inflation. This is the trap almost everyone falls into. You get a raise, and suddenly everything upgrades with it. A better apartment, a newer car, more subscriptions, more expensive habits. And before you realize it, you're making more money than ever, but your bank account still looks exactly the same. This is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck financially for decades. Psychologists even have a name for it: hedonic adaptation, which basically means your brain quickly gets used to a better lifestyle. That new car feels exciting for a few months, then it becomes normal, and your brain immediately starts chasing the next upgrade. That's why step 2 is critical. Lock in your savings rate. Here's a simple rule that works incredibly well. Every time your income increases, save at least half of the raise. So if you start making an extra $1,000 a month, automatically invest or save $500 of it. The other $500, enjoy it. Spend it guilt-free. This allows your lifestyle to improve without destroying your financial progress. Because wealth isn't built by looking rich. It's built by keeping the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And now we get to the part everyone talks about: investing. Because once you finally have consistent savings, your money needs a job. And historically, one of the most reliable ways to build long-term wealth has been investing in the overall market. Over the past century, the S&P 500 has averaged around 10% annual returns over the long run. Now obviously, markets move up and down in the short term. Markets will always move up and down in the short term. Some years will feel amazing. Other years will make people panic. But over longer periods of time, consistent investing has remained one of the most powerful wealth-building tools in history. Now let's make this real with a simple example. Imagine that after increasing your income and controlling lifestyle inflation, you start investing $1,000 every single month. Over 5 years, that becomes $60,000 invested. And with moderate market growth, that money could grow to around $70,000 or even more. But here's the part most people miss. The real magic is not the first 5 years. It's the momentum those 5 years create. Because once your income increases, once investing becomes a habit, once your financial systems are in place, everything starts accelerating. The next 5 years become dramatically easier. I'll give you a real example. A friend of mine spent most of his early 20s stressed about money. His savings were tiny. His paycheck barely covered his expenses. And honestly, from the outside, it looked like he was going nowhere financially. But he made one decision. For 5 years, he would focus on only 3 things: increasing his income, avoiding lifestyle inflation, and investing consistently. Nothing flashy. No gambling on risky trades. No fake, get-rich-quick schemes. Just discipline. 5 years later, he had over $80,000 invested. But honestly, that wasn't even the biggest win. The biggest difference was that his income had doubled, which meant his future started moving faster than ever before. That's how real wealth is built. Not overnight. Not through one lucky moment, but through compounding momentum. Small smart decisions, repeated consistently, for long enough that the results become impossible to ignore. So if you want to completely change your financial life over the next 5 years, here's the realistic roadmap. First, focus on increasing your income, because your earning ability is your greatest financial asset. Second, protect yourself from lifestyle inflation. Every raise should improve your future, not just your monthly expenses. Third, invest consistently into long-term assets that grow over time. And finally, stay consistent long enough for the strategy to actually work. Because here's the truth most people avoid hearing. Wealth rarely comes from one brilliant decision. It comes from hundreds of small decisions repeated consistently over time. And whether you prepare for it or not, 5 years from now is coming. The real question is, when that future arrives, will you still feel financially stuck? Or will you finally have the momentum that changes the next decade of your life? Because sometimes the difference between staying broke and building wealth is simply choosing a better strategy and giving it enough time to work. If this video changed the way you think about money, make sure to subscribe. And I want to ask you something. Where do you want your financial life to be 5 years from today? Drop your answer in the comments. Because that future starts with the decisions you make right now.